morning. We'll call the December 18th, 2024 DRC meeting to order. We'll start with roll call. Community Development's present. Police.
Mike McKinley.
Public Services.
Richard Earps here.
Fire.
Jeremy Holderfield.
And Building.
John Hanson's here.
All right. We have two special events on the agenda. The first one is the South Apopka Ministerial Alliance Dr. Martin Luther King Parade.
All right, so the Dr. Martin Luther King Parade is coming back on January 20th, 2025 from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The parade will have about 80 to 90 entries with floats, walking groups, and bands. They're looking for their staging area to be at the VFW, 5th Street, and Station Street. The parade route will start at the VFW. It'll go to Marvin C. Zanders to 13th Street and then end at John H. Bridges Center. They're expecting about 500 people. There'll be no alcohol. They're not going to hire a private security company. And they're looking to close Marvin C. Zanders, I believe, Station Street.
Any questions for Lexi? All right, hearing none.
They're staging on 5th Street or Station Street?
They said the VFW 5th Street and Station Street. So I don't know. That's when I asked them, that's what they said. We might need to confirm that, though.
Yeah, because I thought they normally, I don't think they stage on 5th Street.
I didn't think so.
That's a major road that'll have to be shut down.
Right. So it probably is not. It's probably just the VFW and Station Street, but we can confirm.
Yeah, would you just confirm that? Thank you.
Any additional questions? Community Development has nothing further. Police.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Public Services.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Fire.
No comments, thank you.
And Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
Okay, the second one is Main Street Apopka Showcase of Cars on February 2nd.
So this event will be on February 2nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a car show on 5th Street. They are expecting about 200 people. Their setup will be very minimal, probably just some tents and the cars, of course. They're looking to shut down East 5th Street between Park Avenue and Central Avenue. There'll be no alcohol, but the surrounding businesses that are open, I'm sure, will be serving. The parking will be in 5th Street public parking lot, and they have their setup to where that parking lot is still accessible.
Any questions?
Are they hiring off duty to shut that street down?
Definitely.
And to go back to the 5th Street Market issue, that first set of rows in the 5th Street parking lot, they cannot permanently shut that down. The fire truck needs that lane to get to the back of the businesses off of Main Street. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not exactly, but I remember the discussion when we were talking about it for the...
I mean, I'll let Jeremy elaborate, but I don't think we can shut that one down. It's going to have temporary barricades that can be moved, so they're not going to be able to put a tent there, a food truck or anything, and because the fire department can't make the turn behind Hall's Feed Store, and they need that first lane of the...
the first lane needs to stay open.
Yeah, it has to have just portable barricades that can be moved so that the fire department can get down there, correct?
Yes, sir. I prefer we just try to use the same format we've used with the marketplace for closing down on the road if possible.
Okay.
As far as that setup, it seems to be working fine for now. So
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to close it off any more than it already is. So if we can use that layout, I think it would help with them and then with us knowing our plans.
Okay, we can definitely mention it to them. And
All right, thank you.
Anything additional?
What are the little black car-looking things? Are those vendors or something?
Car show.
Oh, it's a car show. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm following. I got you now. It just looked like a weird
they
way
don't
to
really look
park.
like cars, do they?
I'm back with you. Thanks.
And the other thing is, if we follow the 5th Street Market, they'll need to make sure that there is a through lane down the middle of that road for the fire department to get all the way through 5th Street. So they
Okay.
can't park their cars in a manner that would block 5th Street. They have to be off to the side with a big enough gap to allow the fire truck through.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Community Development has no further comments. Police, anything additional?
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Public Services.
Nothing else. Thank you.
Fire.
If they have any questions in regards to that, they can reach out to me and then I can discuss to help them understand how we do it and why we do it. So,
Okay, I'll let them know.
all right, thank you.
Building.
I don't have anything. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next two items are the same case, Advent Health Emergency Department Future Land Use Amendment and Rezoning. Gene Sanchez is the project manager. She couldn't be here. There were no comments from the DRC. Is there anything additional from the applicant you'd like to discuss?
Good morning, Nathan Milch, Kimley-Horn. I guess we did have a comment on here about understanding what the actual right-of-way dedication widths would be. Was there any, I guess, follow-up on that from the city consultants doing the roadways?
I would have to check into that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And no other questions.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
Just a note, I know that John Townsend with McIntosh has been representing Advent Health on the Hogshead Road project, and I was going to give DRC a heads up on some developments along Hogshead Road. If y'all aren't involved with that, then you don't want to stay. But if you are, you might want to stay just to get a heads up.
Okay,
It's an
yeah.
unusual.
I don't believe we are.
Okay, thanks. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Community development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything. Thank you.
public services, fire,
No comments, thank you.
building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Next item is Plymouth Harbor rezoning first and middle. June Son is the project manager.
Good morning. The applicant has requested the rezoning of the property located at 2260 Plymouth Sorrento Road and 2244 Sorrento Avenue from RSF1A to RSF1B. Currently, the properties have a future land use designation of residential low suburban, which allows for 3.5 dwelling units per acre. The properties are part of the Plymouth Harbor subdivision, and the purpose of rezoning is to reduce the minimum required lot area. Is applicants are available for any comments.
Okay, the applicant is in attendance. Do you have any questions or comments for the DRC? None.
You don't have the plans for this
The
because I don't
technology is
I
not
don't
working
remember
very
it.
well this morning. Technology is not working very well this morning, so I'm having a hard time getting it to load. Not in this packet. It's on OpenGov. Yeah, I'd have to sign into OpenGov. Let me see if I can pull up an aerial of the property real quick.
What are we trying to accomplish? I'm sorry, Jeff.
Man, make me move.
Well,
Good.
I-
What's the world coming to?
I apologize. I was trying not to, but
So, yeah, Bobby can find it on the property appraiser's map. I think that'll help clarify it. But so we brought this MDP in back in, I'm going to say it was like April. We came to DRC. We tabled it after the April DRC, and subsequent to that, they've picked up two new pieces to the south. This is the property that's on west side of Plymouth Sorrento, and then Sorrento Avenue. The unimproved county right-of-way is on the south side. This is the one we talked about having the issue with fire access, that we needed two access points. You got Plymouth Sorrento there, Bobby? Yes. Keep scrolling there to the left there. There we go. There's Bailey Hill Road right there. Is that Bailey Hill Road? Okay. So Bailey Hill Road. So this is the two pieces to the south of Bailey Hill Road that we're adding to that project. So what we're asking to do is we're asking to rezone those so that it's consistent with the other four pieces that were already included in the MDP. Then we're going to aggregate these two pieces into that MDP, which has been resubmitted, and I think it's due on DRC on the 8th of January. And what it's allowing us to do is it's given us, we're going to improve Sorrento Avenue there. So that gives us an access to the south. It gives us the access to Plymouth Sorrento Road, and that's how we're getting the two access points. But what this request is for is just to rezone this from RSF 1A, which is 90-foot lots, for consistency with the other four pieces, to RSF 1B, which is 75-foot lots.
so that's consistent with the current subdivision.
Yes, it will be with what we're proposing in the others, yeah.
Is this in the KPI?
No, this
No.
one.
Is it consistent with the surrounding area? Okay. All right. Thanks, Jeff. Sorry to make you get up. I guess that means I'm not getting a Christmas present.
All right. Anything additional? Community development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
public services,
Nothing, thanks.
fire,
No other comments.
building.
I don't have anything, thank you.
All right, thank you, June. Next item is Crossroads Kelly Park Phase 1B second revision construction plan first submittal. Gina's project manager, pitch hitting this morning. Applicant is here. I don't believe we received any comments. Any questions from the DRC? I'll try and get this to load, but we're having some technical difficulties. So, any questions or comments on this one?
Which subdivision is this again? Without your little,
Crossroads at Kelly Park, Phase 1B. It's up at the crossroads.
is
in
this the
KPI.
one with the right turn lane issue?
No, that's the next item. Yes.
I'm sorry?
That's the next item. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anything additional? All right. Community development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything, thank you.
public services,
Don't have anything, thanks.
fire,
No comments, thank you.
building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
Okay. Last but not least is the one with the turn lane issue. So let's see if I can get this to load on the screen. I'm the project manager. The applicant received the comments. They're here in attendance, and if you'd like to kind of get up and address the turn lane issue, I think that's the key on this project.
Good morning, staff. My name is Randy Gonzalez. I'm here with Kimley Horn and Associates, 200 South Orange Ave, Orlando, Florida, Suite 600. I've got some exhibits here, but before I pass them out, I kind of want to talk about the issue that we've been having. We came, I think it was 2 weeks ago, to the last DRC, and we discussed that we had an issue with the turn lane, and the issue was that the adjacent development, the Toll Brothers development to the northeast, widened the roadway to the south, so it kind of restricted the right of way, and it really created a situation where we weren't able to include the turn lane. We're coming back today not to discuss the variance, but to propose a solution, and that that proposes the turn lane within the right of way. We're not impacting any adjacent neighbors, and the turn lane is in compliance with the standard FDOT criteria. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass these out. I've got an email from Diana Almodovar. She's the traffic reviewer for the city of Apopka. She reviewed this already, and she had no comments on it, and she said that she's in acceptance with our proposed design.
Thank you.
So what we're doing is we're instead of widening to the south like we were doing for the Toll Brothers development, we're going to be widening both sides of the road. We're going to be widening to the north. It's a little funky looking. There's 3 tapers in there. We're going to be widening to the north, and then we're going to be widening to the south. On the west side of the project entrance, we have the right-in. That's all within the right-of-way. We're doing the 270-foot typical taper distance so that we can transition back to the existing roadway, and we're doing a 235-foot long turn lane on the right-in. East of the development, when you make the right out, we're proposing a 35-foot radius to turn out. It provides a wider turning movement, gives people, I guess, a little bit more opportunity to speed up and get within their lane. And then we're doing the 50-foot flat area of transition, and then from there, I believe we're doing something like 167 feet of taper. And then after that taper, we're doing 50-foot transition area before the turn lane, the left and into the Toll Brothers development. From the Toll Brothers development, we are proposing the 50-foot flat. So when they make that right out of the Toll Brothers development to the northeast, we're proposing 50 feet flat. And then we're starting our transition of 200, I think it was 42 feet. I don't have it in front of me, sorry. 200 and something feet. It's within, Diana reviewed all of this, and she said that she's okay with it. And with that, we're hoping that that staff allows us to move on to P&Z for January, with the condition that we submit a revised plan to the MDP showing this turn lane.
So she makes a comment that she wants the radius 35 foot in lieu of 30 foot,
Yes.
which means absolutely nothing to me. I apologize.
Sure, I can point at it for you if
But
you'd like me to.
are you doing what she's asked?
Yeah, so to be fair, I printed these before heading out last night and then I updated it this morning, but right after this meeting, I can get my laptop and I can email it to the team, but that change has already been made and she was okay with it.
No, as long as you're committing to us, I trust you. I
Yes.
don't have any reason not to trust you. So as long as you're committing to this board that you are going to make the changes recommended by our transportation
Yes.
consultant, then I'm good with that. And I do want to thank you all for resolving this. I was actually on Kelly Park Road the other day, and one of the old subdivisions, somebody was turning in there and about got rear-ended.
Oh man.
It's imperative that we get the traffic off that road.
100%.
Unfortunately, we can't do anything. This particular subdivision's in the county,
Yeah.
but it's been there probably since the 90s, so there's not much we're going to be able to do about that at this time. But as that road progresses, we've got to get the traffic out of there. I'm assuming this gives them, and maybe Richard can answer this, enough deceleration lane to turn into the subdivision.
Yeah, the 235 feet is standard per FDOT criteria. That's enough to decelerate. It's designed for the 45 mile per hour posted speed condition. So we just followed the FDOT recommendations on that. There aren't any deviations from it.
Well, I do.
Yeah, and we heard your concerns, and public safety, of course, is the most important thing. We do not want to create an unsafe condition.
No, and I do. Would like you to pass on to the developer that we thank him for working this out and making sure that the community's safe. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And just for clarification's sake, you and I chatted before the meeting. This withdraws the variance request because this turn lane is going to be detailed on the major development plan.
Correct. This would be a withdrawal of the variance request.
Thank
And Bobby, I do think that you had one additional comment. I just want to go ahead and discuss it while we're up here. The additional comment was to provide an entrance on the east side of Chandler. I would like to ask if we could put a note on the plan. We don't have ownership rights to the commercial development, but could we maybe do a note that says at the time of commercial development, the commercial developer will be responsible for constructing an entrance and access?
That's acceptable.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
But you can't obligate the developer that you don't know who that is to something. That's what you just said, right? That you would put a note in there that said the developer of that commercial property would add the road, but you're committing to someone that you know don't even know who exists right now. We can't do that.
No, what he's saying is that there'll be an exit on the Chandler Road from the commercial parcel.
Right, but he said they were going to put a note in the plans that
Yes.
the developer
Right.
of the commercial piece, who they don't know who that is right now, would commit to that, and we can't.
We've done that. in the
Nothing against you,
past.
young man,
Yes, sir.
but you can't make a commitment for somebody that you don't know who you're making a commitment for.
Right. So as part of this major development plan, this right now we're including this area, the future commercial area. We have the agent authorization form from the adjacent property owner, I believe.
Did y'all ever? Because last discussion we had, y'all didn't own that property yet.
We don't own it, but we have a form to include this within the development. So like I think right here, the developable area, we're calling out the future commercial area. And then I think we're calling out the setbacks, or I think we're providing site information for the commercial area.
Because this was originally all proposed as the one project.
Right.
And so that's why they're doing that. We've done this in the past on other projects before where there's been set asides, where there's been notes on the plan that say access will be proposed to Chandler Road.
Yeah, but I think that's by people who own the property. They don't own this property and they don't know who the developer is going to be. So we really can't hold them to a commitment to say that the developer in the future, they may not want to do this. And, you know, even though he's telling us they're going to put it in the plans, we can't force a party who's not part of this agreement to do that.
What if we don't own the property, but
And I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm sorry, but
I
this is
understand,
going to
yeah.
come up in the future.
we're following legal process and we want to make sure that we do everything by the law. And I hear you. What if we were able to get a letter from the owner of the property, and then that way, that agreement with the owner, he legally writes it out, and then it's tied to that piece of land. So even if he sells it, the access will be required on Chandler Road.
I don't have a problem with that attempt, but that'll be up to our attorney whether or not that's legally sufficient to bind somebody in the future to put an exit there. Are y'all working with the development down on the south end of Chandler? Because aren't they going to improve Chandler Road?
It's
Or
my
attempt to
understanding
improve
they're going
Chandler
to
Road,
try
which
to.
isn't a road?
Yes, it's not a road; it's a piece of property.
Right.
Chandler Road is. Yes.
But aren't they going to try to turn it into a road or something?
That's what I understand. Yes.
Are y'all working with them?
Not to, I don't believe so. We did the Jason Dwelly single family development, but I don't know of any improvements to Chandler Road.
Well,
Not
you
aware
might
of
want to
any.
reach out to that development and whoever the engineers are there and see what their future plans are, because that may assist you in where your exits and everything else are.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Just one more question. Looking at your line work on this exhibit MDP 2.1 that you handed out, the line work for the gores on the east and west of the intersection, one of them appears to be a double line type and one is a single line type. Are you proposing on the eastern one that is like boulder or double lines or something? Is that some sort of a mountable traffic separator, or is all that just striping?
It's all striping.
Okay, I don't have any other comments.
Okay. So we'll go around. Community development has nothing further, and based on the fact that the variance is going to be withdrawn, it seems like there were no other comments from DRC that I received. That this could proceed forward to Planning Commission in January. Police, anything additional?
I don't have anything else, but I do again want to thank you for working this through.
Public services.
Nothing on this, thanks.
Okay. Fire.
No comments. Thank you.
Building.
I don't have anything. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Yeah, you too. Okay. Discussion.
I do have three things, Bobby. They're all quick things.
God, you're worse than the police chief.
We did get a copy of the memo from Planning and Zoning, Bobby. I appreciate you sending that for Binion Road, and so we've got our staff evaluating that one. But on whatever other roads that Public Services has very limited or no coordination role in the city accepting county roads, if you could just send whoever's at Public Services a formal memo with that paperwork, then like we're doing on Binion, we're going to go out and do a full inspection of the road, and if improvements need to be made, we're going to quantify those and deal with them if there are any. So so that's point one. Okay, point two is one that is interesting and kind of tricky, is that along Hogshead Road, instead of having something like a pioneering agreement that the city will be part of, I understand that 12 of the developers along Hogshead Road have all gotten together and decided that they are going to jointly fund the roadway and utility improvements along all or most of Hogshead Road to serve the Advent Health parcel and the Sean Casey's parcel, which is the other large parcel out there. And then they've gotten the other property owners to agree to all fund that together without the city being a party to the agreement. And what I anticipate, the direction they're going, is that one of the developments will come in and they'll show all those offsite improvements as part of their developments. They'll serve all the other ones along Hogshead Road. They're probably going to want transportation impact fees for some of that, but we haven't talked about an agreement yet. We're just having early coordination efforts with Sean Casey, who's leading the thing. So I just wanted to let DRC know that I'm trying to schedule a meeting with Sean Casey and John Townsend with Macintosh to bring Dio or someone in, up to speed on what their intent is. So I just want a heads up.
Does that take care of that piece of property that we put the water tank on?
Yeah, it would. And then the last one is, I guess, that I will be here for one more DRC meeting. I'll be here with the plan at the moment is that Arvind Chandrasane will represent Public Services and Engineering. And I believe that actually at night and weekends, Dio is going to review the plans and and then Arvind will be the one that enters the comments and then come to DRC to take questions. I don't know if he'll answer a lot. He may, or he may just bring questions back to public service director and coordinate it that way. So that's our plan at the moment. And I guess I'll let you know on the 8th of January, which will be my last day. And that's the next DRC date, right? Okay. So that'll be my last day. So
Lucky you.
if something changes, I'll let you know at that meeting. Those were the three things I had.
All right. And I was just going to say we don't have a meeting next week or the following week because it's 2 holidays consecutive. Anybody else have anything?
I just want to wish Richard the best in his future endeavors, and we're going to miss him. If we don't have something in place to handle engineering, because we currently don't have anything in place to handle transportation, I'd be a little reluctant to continue this process until, hopefully what they're putting in place will work and it is in place. I know they're looking for somebody to replace him, but without an engineer and without a transportation coordinator sitting up here, I think it's going to be difficult to move forward. Just my comments.
Anybody else? All right, meeting adjourned.